to the death. Walk bunching to the death. Talk about the globe. Standing 10 toes with your theory to the test. Theory to the test. We be the SPS. We be the SPS. Walk bunching to the death. Walk bunching to the death. Show me what you know. Beliefs and principles. And say it with your chest. And say it with your chest. Melanin popping, we gonna see conversation, reality. What you want, we got what you need. A dose of the truth, a brick of the street. Gotta touch grass when you on this scene. Sometimes seem too gray to me. Either it is or it ain't. Gotta keep it tall. Small thoughts, R.I.P. Flawed in all. Righteous call. Grofos tall. BS fall. Pull your stack. Break your guard. Stereotypes can't play this long. Throw your scripts against this wall. Talking points to your flaw. Legs to limb. Take this wall. Gotta keep it trill. Gotta keep it raw like yes. Or bunch it to the death. Or bunch it to the death. Talk about the globe. Standing 10 toes with your theory to the test. Theory to the test. We be the SBS. We be the SBS. Or bunch it to the death. Or bunch it to the death. Show me what you know. Beliefs and principles. And say it with your chest. Say it with your chest. Too extreme to ever be. Bring balance to how you think. Do it make sense? Will it really work? Put it to the test. Tell me what you seen, what you heard. Will it really be? Did you fail? Did it succeed? Hey, what you want? Here's what you need. Get out your brain and get on your feet. SPSPOD, RAW, and we need you to tap that blue leaf. Chop it up, tap it in, and let's speak. Let's see the trap of the nerd, the hot girl swerve, the wife, the husband, the bee, the single, the baddie, the righteous, the ratchet. All get a chance to speak. Yes. Or bunch it to the death. Or bunch it to the death. Talk about the globe. Standing 10 toes with your theory to the test. Theory to the test. We be the SBS. We be the SBS. Or bunch it to the death. Or bunch it to the death. Show me what you know. Beliefs and principles. And say it with your chest. Say it with your chest. Check. Welcome to the SPS podcast. You are now tuned in with the Raw Bunch. I'm your host and moderator, DJ Strada, and you are here with the Raw Bunch. Before we get to it, just to let y'all know this is part 2 of our Bertie County series, addressing the violence, and we're getting into the psychology of some of our students and the neighborhoods in which we all reside and hold pride in. So, first, let me introduce the home team, the guys that are here. Bino, what's good with you, Brody?
What's good, bro? What's good, fellas, ladies?
Yeah, we chilling. Yeah, how's everything, bro? You good? How's your week?
I'm cool, man. I just got a speeding ticket, but it still ain't stopped my joy of life. So I'm good, bro.
Did you really cry though? That's what I want to know.
It ain't come out. I think that's why I didn't work. It ain't come out. I was trying to do like a sad face and stuff like that. You know, I'm being a little hyperbolic on Facebook, but I tried. It ain't work. She just smiled at me, gave me my ticket, sent me on my way, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's funny. That is funny. Brittany, what's good with you? How are you?
That much.
You get these speed tickets or you good?
Look, do not hold on. What's some wood? Do not speak that shit on me. No, I haven't.
Just asking.
No.
Stay safe out here. Okay.
For real.
Kiki, what's good with you?
Hey.
How's everything going with you? I heard a car door.
Chilling. Huh?
I heard a car door. Was that you? You out there speeding or you good?
No, I'm in the house. I got a 20-year-old today. 20 years ago.
Happy birthday.
Congratulations on that.
Happy birthday.
Blessing. That is a blessing. I love it. Now we're going to get to our guests. For those that don't know, again, the whole reason for this part 2 show is for the guests I'm about to introduce. Again, these guys are pivotal to our actual community. And again, if y'all notice in part one, we were speaking from the perspective of residents, former residents, and fathers and mothers. So I wanted to bring the other side of this convo. And so we're going to go one by one. I'm going to let the guys introduce themselves. And I want y'all to tell us a little bit about who you are and how you impact Bertie. And we'll start with Darius. Give him a quick intro of who you are and your impact on the community, bro.
My name Darius. Originally from Bertie. Graduated from Bertie 2009. Went to Elizabeth City State, played football. Was previously the head football coach at Bertie High School, along with Devin and Casey. Just being a football coach was helping a lot of, I would say, young men. Highways, byways, just trying to pivot, the teenage life and make more of life. Because coming into the world that we live in, a lot of, I would say, young men don't cherish that 4-letter word, which is life.
Okay.
So us as black men and coaches, we were just trying to help the kids any way possible. So that's just a quick background about me and what I did for the community.
You still coach?
Damn right. You know the count. Devin, what's good, brother? Give him your spiel. Give him your spiel. What's up with you?
What's up, man? I'm Devin Saunders. I'm the director of the Hive in Lewiston. Graduated from Bertie 2005 with CO. Was on the coaching staff with Darius and CO for the last couple of years. Just been working with the youth community. I've been doing that since I was a kid. With Miss Saunders, my mother. So, just trying to carry on the legacy.
I love it. I love it. Shout out to Mama Sanders. You know the count, man. Like I said, she held the boys down for real, for real. I love it. I love it. James, what's good, Brody?
What up, everybody?
What's good?
Founder of the Growth Spurt Youth Foundation, a long-term resident of Bertie County, just offering another positive alternative outlet for the kid community, as well as assisting adults of all age brackets. And good to be here.
I love it. I love it. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. CO, what's good, Brody? Give him the rundown.
My guy? Casey Owens, CEO of Bertie County YMCA. Like Darius said, I coach with him and I coach with Devin as well. So been a part of the football program for a couple years now.
Solid. All right, man. So now that we've got everybody introduced, the first thing I want to tackle here at the SPS again, because it is statistics, problem solutions. I'm gonna bring up some stats that I did find that I thought was interesting, right? And so we're gonna tackle the stats. I'm gonna read them off to you all, get your perspective on it, and then we can kind of take the conversation from there. Real quick, let me make sure that I get some housekeeping done to get Darius connected appropriately, and then we'll go from there. You good, Darius?
Yeah, you can hear me?
Yep.
Can't hear.
Solid.
All right.
All right, let me bring these stats. I'm gonna read them out, and then I'm gonna ask each of y'all which stat, based on what you see, kind of impacts you think has the most impact. So let's get to it. Second for it to pop up on my end. Here we go. So Bertie County, student life and school discipline in the snapshot. In the schools, currently, there are about 1,700 students with about 120 teachers. The graduation rate now sits at 82% when we're talking about the schools. Now, when we're talking about discipline issues, 12% of juvenile offenses were school-related, and 1.6 times Black students were suspended versus others. We're talking about attendance and impact, 28% of rural chronic absenteeism, right? So us being in a rural area, we got a 28% of kids that, aren't attending regularly. The trauma exposure for that, high rates of violence in and outside of school with that 28% stat. Community in a snapshot, 26% of Bertie lives in poverty. We're 60% African-American. The high school graduation or higher is at 82%. The current population, let me bring down my comment so I can read the rest of the stat. Y'all bear with me 1 second. So we take these off the stage so I can read that bottom piece. There we go. So the Bertie County population is about, again, 6% Black. The median income is $42,000. and 26% of us are living below poverty. I'm gonna leave that up there for a second, just so y'all can kind of read it, you know, kind of see what's going on. And I can see y'all in the back chat. So if you give me a little head nod, let me know if you found the stat you wanted to speak to. And you know, I won't move on until y'all kind of read it, digested it, and found the one that y'all thought is interesting. Now, good?
Yeah.
Right, good? All right.
Yeah.
Bring this down. And we're going to start with, take this off real quick. Bino, which stat stuck out to you the most, bro?
You know how I am about the stats. All of it, you know, good, bad, and different. You know how I am about the stats, but for the point of the conversation, I say probably the highest absentee rate in the rural area. And then is that trauma, violence, and what did it say? Trauma, violence, and exposure, or something like that. Is that are they correlating that percentage with violence, exposure to trauma, and things of that such? The two correlates. So
Yes, it
yeah,
does.
so that's why that would stick out to me the most. In my mind, you know, and maybe I'm not knowing everything I'm saying, but in my mind, I don't think it's a lot of. I don't even want to say the word bad, but I don't think it's a lot of them kids that we talk about. I think being that we so small, so intimate, it seems like a lot, which it is because of the amount of the population we got.
Yeah.
But that 28%, I would almost like to gamble that when we talking about the kids is misguided, maybe troubled, maybe a little bit of that private school a lot.
Can I say something? I don't want to interject, but I want to add on to what you. I want to add on what you were saying. You know, when you say it's not a lot, I was at the meeting recently for the dinner and dialogue. It comes out to be quite many days when you're talking about the 28% of the kids. I think we like 800 and something odd days missed due to suspensions and, you know, juveniles just not coming and showing up and being delinquent. So it's a lot. It's a lot.
A lot of kids.
It's a lot of missed days.
Oh yeah. I won't say there's a lot of missed days. What I was saying was like, you know, being that it's a lot because of our population is not big, of the amount of kids that we, you know, the misguided, the troubled kids. It's not a lot of them, but it is a lot. Technically, it's a lot for us. You feel what I'm saying? Because of our population, and I would almost like to gamble that those same kids is probably the same kids that miss a lot of school. That 28%.
I can agree with the last part, but I disagree with the first part because it is a lot of them. Because I deal with a lot of them. A lot of them are at-risk youth kids. So not only do they contribute to that number, it's a lot of them.
Okay, I'll say majority. For lack of a better word. Okay. Majority. Yeah, that's what I was meaning. Majority.
You're absolutely right on that behalf. It was just the numbers was kind of skewed because someone on the outside will say, well, that's not a lot based on the people that live there.
Yeah,
but
you're
I'm
right.
here every day.
You're right. That's why I corrected. I would say I know it's a lot because, like I said, of our population, but I was comparing it to other. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot, you know, for our population. So I say it's not. Majority of our kids are not troubled kids. Is what I'm saying from our community.
Oh yeah. On the flip side, you can put it that way. But that same group makes up for that 40% of kids that's living in poverty. So that's high. You know, it's only 17,000 people. Yeah, that's high. So we can't never say, you know, when you say it like that, kind of throws people off a little bit. They think the problem is not as dire as it is, but it's a real important situation, and we need to address it because that's the thing that I'm facing right now is that the high number with so many of us working independently, the high number, I really want to suggest that more of us work together. This is gonna be the only way.
Yeah, I totally agree.
It's gonna be the only way.
Yeah.
So
we'll have to figure that out for sure. Devin, which one of the stats popped out you the most, bro?
The one about the poverty, man.
Yeah. 26% in living in poverty in the county.
Yeah. So, you know, part of my job is I deal with I have kids that come here, that come to the site that have been long-term suspended or short-term suspended. And like I said, this is my second year in this position. So one of the things that the kids say, that they're dealing with, with everything that's going on, is like, their parents can't afford, one to be there for them because they have to work multiple jobs or odd times and stuff like that, when they need them there, whatever the case is, or they can't afford the things that everybody else has, you know. So I feel like that's a big effect on what's going on now.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Hey, can I ask a question?
Yeah, you got it,
Yes.
Kiki.
Okay, that's I know you had said 800 days missed, and that's what one of my questions was going to be. Like, what was the alternatives for short term and long term suspensions? So to Devin, so students who are suspended, they're able to go to the hive.
They're able to go to the house. They have that option. It's not a like you have to go. You know what I'm saying? So it's like this. So say for instance a child gets suspended 10 days. All right. They have to go through the hearing with I want to say Mr. Bishop. I've been working with him closely for the last year, last two going on 2 years. And he deals with that part. He mediates between us and the school, the high school, middle school, and we take up to what fifth grade all the way from fifth grade all the way up to high school, all the way up to the 12th grade. So if they get suspended for 10 days, their parents have the option for them to come to our site where they will get, breakfast and lunch. But they will have to follow our rules and regulations. We don't follow the same guidelines as the school system. So we have another initial intake meeting with me, the parent, the student, and Mr. Bishop also, where the first question I asked them, what I'm saying, like I told Strada is, yo, what hood you pushing? What you banging something or whatever the case is? Because the last couple kids that I've had have been part of violent offenses, put it that way. But to answer your question, yeah, they have the opportunity to come to the hive, whether it's short term or long term.
Okay, so is transportation, if a child don't have transportation, is there an alternative route to get them to and from?
No, so that's the thing. So part of that, um, we make the parents bring the kids. If they want to come to the hive, they don't have to. If they want to come to the hive, then the parents have to get involved in bringing the kids to providing transportation to and from the hive. You know, I made that rule because I feel like, okay, some of these parents are not involved enough. But if you have to bring your kid to the hive back and forth for 10 days, or let alone for the duration of the whole entire school year, that will kind of change your perspective and kind of be on them a little bit more like, look, you got a free bus ride to and from school. Look, do what you need to do, you know. And that's not me trying to be, excuse my language, being an asshole or anything like that. But
No, I actually
second,
agree with
along
you.
with,
I actually agree with
you know what I'm saying?
It's
Working
okay
along
to be an
with,
asshole sometimes.
you
you.
know what
Got
I'm
to.
saying?
Okay,
Working along
and
with,
I
working,
get that too. So what
uh-huh.
about the ones where their parents just aren't going to take the initiative to get their child to and from the hive? So they're not on vibrating. I mean echoing.
Yeah.
Tad bit.
Staticky. You hear the static?
A little bit.
It's staticky, but we can
Is
hear
it
you.
me? It's just me.
No, it
I
ain't.
want y'all to buy me some equipment so y'all always got something to say.
I got you.
It's real static.
Okay, but for the parents that just
Like,
don't take the initiative to take their kids to and
uh-huh.
from 10 days or for the remainder of the year, like what
Mm-hmm.
about them? Because it's still not, I mean, it is their fault,
I
but it's not their fault because we can't expect children to always make adult decisions when they don't have that mind frame.
And I would just add to what Kiki is saying. I'm not even gonna say take the initiative on this. Kiki, mute for me, sweetie.
I could barely hear you. What'd you say, Brittany?
I
Okay,
got
I
you.
was waiting for her to mute. But what I was saying was, I'm gonna just piggyback on what she's saying. It's not so much that the parents may not take the initiative. I think one of the things you said first, Devin, when you got up here, when you ask
Uh-huh.
kids, they said that their parents don't spend enough time because they have to work multiple jobs. So if these parents are
Uh-huh.
working multiple jobs, how are they
Mhm.
going to get them to the hive if that's a requirement? You saying y'all got to bring them and they're already struggling, So I want you to address that if possible.
Okay. So the mindset is okay, it's a sacrifice. All right. It's a sacrifice. That car ride is everything. You know what I'm saying? Um, and I would take myself as an example. You know what I'm saying? My son has been suspended. You know what I'm saying? Since he's been with me. And okay, the Hive wasn't available. Alternative education wasn't available. You know what I'm saying? That I know of during that time when he was a sophomore, and a junior. So but every day it was that car ride, like, okay, look, we about to ride here, right, what I'm saying, to and from. So it's the same thing, that car ride, if they got to bring their kids, even though, yeah, I understand they have to work, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it's not the parent, maybe it's the grandparent, but somebody has to take initiative from that side to, okay, look, we're sacrificing because I already got to do this and the third. And honestly, from what I've seen, it's you have single parents, you have single mothers, you have single fathers that have their kids and stuff like that on both sides of the fence. So it's a sacrifice all the way around. We're providing, what I'm saying? And when they come to the hive, it's not just you're just sitting, you know what I mean? They're sitting down just doing their work, you know what I mean? I have conversations with them. I'm not saying I'm an expert or anything like that or whatever the case is, but I'm trying to work something out to get someone in, like a mental health expert, to come in to have time with them and talk to them. But to answer your question, Brittany, um, you know, if the parents that just don't take an initiative to bring their kids, you know what I mean? Maybe that's something that, I can work on. What I'm saying? I'm not saying that we don't have the transportation that we can't come get, not saying that. But this may be something I can work on. You know what I mean? Being in my position. But at the same time, it has to be some type of sacrifice, some type of initiative from the parents, you know what I mean, to give that initial boost to the kids. Like, okay, look, I'm already stretching myself thin, but I got to work this, I got to do this, I got to buy you clothes, I got to make sure that your homework is done, this, then the third, and you out here acting like a jackass. You know what I'm saying? So, it's a requirement for us at this point. You know what I mean? If I got to bring you to school as a parent, you know what I mean? Okay, boom. Next year, going when you're able to go back to school, I'm gonna be in your ass. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be on your ass because I can't do that again. We got to do something different. You know what I mean? That's the mindset that I have. But at the same time, I kind of I hate to assume you always make an ass out of yourself, but I'm assuming you're saying, you know what I mean, maybe I'm falling short as far as my position in that perspective. Yeah, maybe we can find, not find transportation, because we have transportation and the means to go get the kids that, you know what I'm saying, that the parents don't take initiative.
Right, because based off what you're saying, it's all volunteer. So if
Mm-hmm.
the parent reach out, apply, and do all that, they are taking initiative to
Uh-huh.
try to get them enrolled in that program during those 10 days.
Uh-huh.
They're not losing nothing at all and just sitting home. It's just that
Uh-huh.
they have to, I'm just saying they may have to work, or they may have something else where they can't get them there, but they're trying their best to not let them just sit idle during those 10 days, and they're reaching out to y'all for help. That's all I was just trying to just kind of look at it as a different perspective, not so much as
Mm-hmm.
like, hey, you need to make a sacrifice. So they're trying, and we all have parents or know people that have kids that struggle, and it's kind of hard.
Understood. Understood. And you're exactly right. You're exactly right. You're exactly right. Yeah, you're exactly right. And, like I said, I mean, it's a requirement,
Right.
and so far so good. I haven't had anybody return. I had three last year,
Dope.
and none of them have returned.
That's what's
You
up,
know,
man.
I I've had one this year, just recent, and that was just it was just when I got to talking to him and everything. I knew him since he was and the kids that are coming are not kids that I don't know. A lot of the kids I've known since they were elementary school and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And just talking to him is like, man, I made a bad decision, man. You know what I'm saying? That's my fault. But I'm gonna do better. You know what I mean? And but like I said, I haven't had anybody reoccur, that come back. you know. And it's not a multitude of kids that come. You know, like I
Yeah.
said, only had 3 last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Keep it up though, bro. That's what's up,
No,
man.
for real. It's
Yeah.
definitely needed. It's definitely needed. So again, because we got a full panel, I don't want to go one by one. So based on the stats that you all did see, does anybody want to comment on a different stat that they saw that jumped out to them, or just kind of give a commentary on what they see being based on that snapshot of Bert T?
I'll say something. I'm gonna be honest though. I don't believe in numbers. I don't
Okay.
believe in those numbers. I honestly think it's worse than that, if we being honest.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is because being here, being in it is different
Yeah.
versus than seeing from the outside. Because
Yeah.
most,
Fact.
cause most of the time when you're not in it, only thing you're seeing is Facebook statuses, you're seeing news articles, you're seeing these things.
Mhm.
But being in the fire in it, I really think it's worse than that. And that's just from being like a football coach, right? We talking about poverty.
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah.
people don't even know, like, a lot of these kids stay in their friends' house to have shelter. They ain't home.
Hmm.
They ain't
Yeah.
home. And we're talking about numbers. I really think it's higher than that. That's why I said I don't believe in numbers. All
Oh.
right. So then let's talk about, like, being in the school system though, right?
Mhm.
No child left behind.
Yeah.
They stand on that. No child left behind. And like I always go back. I know times are different. When we was in school, Brittany, your mom was a teacher. If you got 30 in the class, what's gonna be on your report card?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A kid can go to school every single day and get a 50. Don't do no work. That's
Hmm.
mandatory. No child left behind. So let's just talk about it. If a kid go to school, right, and they do the bare minimum and get a 60 or 65, that's a D. They're gonna pass.
Mhm.
Hmm.
And that's due to school getting a grade and teachers being graded.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Because
And
you
so
was in it, so
that's
you know. You're right.
so that's why I say, like, we talk about numbers. I don't believe in numbers. I really don't. Like, if you got a kid come up to you calling the state Arkansas, Arkansas, we got a problem. And you're in high school. Nah, you laugh. I'm and let's
No, 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 no. I'm no, you serious. That's why
you
I'm
and that's what
laughing.
I'm saying. But you plan on going to college like that next year? How would that make us look as a county, as a school? When you go into college, you around people from New York, California, Texas, and you're talking like this. That don't look good. You know what I mean? Like, play. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like when we was coaching, a lot of kids came to school because of us as coaches. You know. All right. So on the podcast last week,
Yeah.
y'all was talking about how can we get to these students. The one thing I said is you got to build a relationship with these kids. These kids are not just gonna come talk to you because you know, just because you be no, just because you say you Devin, just because you say you Brittany, they don't know you. You got to build this rapport with the kids so they can tell you what's really going on.
Yeah.
So being in Bertie and actually being in it, bro, it starts from the bottom. It really starts from the bottom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's
Hey,
why I applaud.
can I piggyback off of what you saying,
Go
Darius?
ahead, dog.
Because oftentimes, man, I mean, for one, I agree with you. You gotta be these kids gotta be able to trust you, and you gotta have some skin in the game. But oftentimes, growing up, we used to always hear like it take a village. But right now, I
Hmm.
just feel like the village is broken. The village is not what it used to be, so the only time, or one of the few times, that you will see people come together unified and hold their hands is in a natural disaster, or if it's a crime around here that
Hmm.
just that may take an innocent life or something like that. And then you get this village then, right? And Darius, because you coach Devin as well. Sometimes you get parents this, I mean, you gotta approach it. You may have to coach certain kids a little bit harder, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
And when you do that, then you may have some pushback from parents saying, "Oh, my baby," right? Or my
Hmm.
child. Like,
Hmm.
you allow us to do this because what we're trying, for one, with us taking our time and we're sacrificing every single day to be with them. Of course, we care for them. but we're trying to prepare them for life after high school, right? You know what I'm saying? So I oftentimes question like, are these kids like career readiness? You know, uh can they excel in an interview process?
Hmm.
You know, and everybody, college is not for everyone. So if they enter into the workforce development, are they ready? You know what I'm saying? Are they well equipped? But I just feel like right now, like, you know, it's I don't see a lot of unity. I don't see a lot of togetherness unless it is like a natural disaster, you know, unless we see that there's some type of crime or something like that. And then this, you know, we all want to hold hands. We need to do that year round. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? So of course, like we can sit here and we can say like a lot of, you know, it's the kids, and then on the other side of it, we could be like it's the parents, it's everybody, community leaders, parents, kids,
Hmm.
everybody, man. It's going to take all of us collectively coming together. I mean, whether you got to, you know, it ain't about who ideal it was. This is let's just see it through. I do want to show y'all something while I got y'all attention though. Cause I mean, I guess I'm trying to like do a couple different things all at one time. But
Mhm.
this is when you know what I mean by we have like skin in the game and stuff, things that we be doing. So this just so happened, Strata, as you was doing your, you know, the podcast, we just
Mhm.
happened to be hosting our men's night. This is something that we do monthly. So, you know
So
what I'm saying? And we got the OGs in here, we got kids, you know what I'm saying? We got the middle aged people, and we just have an opportunity to be vulnerable, talk about whatever issues that we see fit within the last month. And of course, those topics come up. But that's something
yeah,
that we're doing. We're doing like around the clock, bro. Like this is we put this type of work in all the time, you know. So that's just my
That's
spiel to that.
respect.
Hey,
That's
and you
respect.
know,
That's
hey, it
respect.
was crazy about all of that though, right? What Casey's talking about, and like what Sean, Casey, all of us is coming together doing the community though. It took time though, and the reason I say that is because when he came back to Bertie, the kids didn't know him. He had to take the time to gain their trust and actually talk to the kids and get to know the kids for them to even do the things that they doing and open up.
yeah.
So with those people coming there and those young men coming there, they ain't never did that day in their life. But because Sean took the time to get to know each and every one of them,
And he
man, come
giving
on, let's
them a
go.
out. He's giving them an outlet to do something. This something y'all can go to instead of sitting on a block or doing something dumb shit, whatever they come up with
Hmm.
when they amongst each other. But he giving them something else to do. Hey, y'all come over here and chill,
Yeah.
and we could talk about it.
Hey,
That's a fact.
and also I want to like what Cone was talking about with the hive though, and Brittany, and you was talking about Brittany and Key. Y'all talking about like transportation. You know, I was talking about that last week. So for
You are.
me, I hate
Mhm.
excuses. You feel me? I hate excuses. I
Mm-hmm.
really do. You know what I mean? And the reason I say that is because I know how we brought up was different. I really do. But
Hmm.
we can't be in the mindset of coddling these kids and giving them an excuse on why they can't do certain things. You see what I'm saying? And the reason I say it, because that's just like if a kid want to go to a party, he'll find a ride. If a
Mm-hmm.
kid want to go to the if he want to go to the Bertie and Hervey County game, he'll find a ride.
Right. No, so I wasn't making an excuse for the parents. I was just asking, do they offer that? Because you might have some
Yeah.
who truly don't have transportation, and since his program is truly volunteer, if
Hmm.
they can't get there, oh, we'll sit home for these 10 days and just wait for the other bus to roll and go back after on the 11th day. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was
You
trying to
don't
figure
have
out.
to.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
sit
it's
sit
also
home,
another program.
sit home them 10 days, wait it out, and come back to school. And you know the thing about North Carolina is they just passed that rule. It don't matter how many days you miss now.
Oh
Damn.
wow. Mm-hmm.
You
Damn.
can miss you can miss more than 10 days now in North Carolina. Cause they passed that rule at the beginning of the school year. So a kid can miss over 10 days long they pass, and they going to the next grade.
That's cold. Damn, that's cold.
Yeah, it's
Now,
crazy.
how can you track if you missing 10 days,
Mm.
and if you don't have that parent or that adult figure, that responsible person to encourage that child to do their work while they're home them 10 days for the remainder of the year, how can that child achieve? And then if they have the no child left behind, and they're just passing students through the system, how does that help? And do we even still have the no child left behind? Because my child got left behind in fifth grade. They need to
Go
put them up.
ahead.
No, that right there. Stop.
Yeah, it did. They ended that.
Yeah, they ended that a
Oh yeah, God,
while,
he might
like
have
some years ago.
But yeah, but like, cause like I'm not making excuses, but I really truly know like children who are out there in the mud struggling,
Mhm.
trying to get out by themselves because they have absolutely no one. Like
Oh,
seriously, they have no one.
Yeah,
I'm already hip. Like that's why I say with me, Devin, and Casey being coaches, like we was in the mud with these kids, like and being there every day with them, like because we was with them more than they with their parents. We
Okay.
got school, then we got football practice. Like kids are not leaving the school until after 8 o'clock.
Mhm.
And like we actually had parents that brought snacks, drinks, and food every day after practice because some kids they won't eat when they left.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's facts.
Yeah, that's a fact because some kids only eat while they're at school. So
While they at
that's why
school.
food nutrition was so important when I was in there. They taught us all that and showed us the numbers
Yeah.
and the facts and all that in food and nutrition. That some kids, that's the only time they do eat.
So so that's why I say I don't believe in the numbers. That's just me personally. So looking at the statistics, I don't believe in it. Like a lot of the skew, like they they make things to make it look good or to make it a certain way. You know what I mean? So and like the crime rate here, I mean, it's high because we small. Everybody know everybody at the end of the day. But we go to
Yeah,
Charlotte, we go to Mecklenburg, we go to Raleigh, anything like that. I mean, we ain't gonna know half of these people that you know what I mean that is happening too. But of course it looks bad because we're in Bertie. Everybody know everybody. Like, dang, that's what you call a son. Or, dang, that's what you call a nephew.
Yep.
So it does make it look bad because at the end of the day, we know these parents. You know what I mean? We know the parents or the grandparents or the aunts that's going through the devastation that's happened at the end of the
It's
day.
bad. It's bad in multiple ways because it makes us look bad as a county, unattractive.
Facts.
Our numbers are decreasing. We lost almost 18% of our population
Mhm.
over the last 10, 15, 20 years. Was 11 in the last 10 years, 11% in the last 10 years, which is significant. That
Yeah.
that harms us as far as taxes. Harms us because every head that they count allows for us to get money because we're tier one, which means most distress.
So
So
look,
the
I'm
numbers
glad
matter when you want that money. The
that's a
numbers matter
fact.
when you want that money.
I agree, and that's what I was about to
Yeah,
say. Numbers
yeah,
matter when you want that money, but also,
yeah, yeah,
like we talking about crime rate. A lot of people are moving their kids for education purposes too.
yeah. And I said that in the post that I made.
Yeah,
You leave because of money and education, but now it's gonna be money, education, and public safety. So
facts.
now it makes a difference. So now more factors
mm,
are being added. People are not coming
hmm
because more people are dying here and they're afraid. You had 12 people to die in 3 to 4 years. That's too many for a
Teenage.
community of 16,000 residents. We can't compare ourselves to a metropolitan area with 1.1 million people. 105 deaths and 1.1 million people seems like a drop in the bucket compared to 12 in an area of 16,000 when 5,000 of us know each other on a first name basis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's too much.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree.
So let's get back to the numbers because poverty is an issue because in 20 years, our numbers in poverty have only shifted maybe 4.3%. So now I'm concerned that our leaders are not focused on the major issue, which is poverty. If you start with poverty, the crime will go down.
mm-hmm.
Mm. So you think
Because you
that's
got
one of the
money.
biggest root causes? You think that's one of
I
the big
think
root?
that's the root cause in all rural areas. Ain't no money. So ain't no money, ain't no resources, ain't no Casey, ain't no outlets, ain't no James, ain't no where you gonna go at if ain't no resources? If ain't no money, can't pay the lights for the building, how the YMCA go continue to function? They need money to keep the lights on.
Yeah, that's solid. Anybody else agree or disagree with poverty being one of the root causes to all of this? What
We
about Jared?
started at it was 30% and now it's 26.4. And in other demographics, they started at 12 and now it's 8 in 5 years. It's only 8% in 5 years. But for us, we still only working in a 4.5 to a 4.6 difference in almost 20 years. Don't nobody see no problem?
So that's
Oh
a
yeah.
major problem. So Charlotte, I got a question for you.
What's up?
Why you ain't back in Bertie?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm tapped in now. Me and Dev throwing some stuff in the back. Yeah,
But
man.
but
Like
but
you
but
said.
but the reason
Uh-huh.
but what James is saying is the reason I'm asking though. A lot of
Oh
people
yeah,
don't want
for
to
sure,
come
for
back
sure.
to this. You see what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
bro. And I'm gonna be
Because
honest
of,
with you, Darius. Like, here's where it's cold, bro. My degree is from NC State, biology, biotechnology, genetics. If I came back home and moved to Bertie tomorrow, what
You
am I
wouldn't
going to
have no job.
you won't have no
You wouldn't have
job.
no job. You wouldn't have
Yeah,
no
like
job. You
that's the
overqualified.
cold
Yeah.
part. Yeah, like what
Yeah.
I'm gonna do with
Yeah.
it? You
Now,
And if
know,
you buy a house here, you go pay the second highest taxes in the whole state.
so
come on,
so
man.
and that's why I agree with what James is saying though. A lot of people don't want to move like $42,000. Like $42,000, really.
And the average a person here really don't make no more than 24 or better.
That part.
$42,000
So everybody,
for what?
everybody not getting the household median income.
That part, James.
Everybody
Like
ain't getting it.
we
Some
know
people
the
making
operator. Go ahead, bro. Chop it.
some
Keep
people
chopping.
making $7.25 to $10 an hour. Everybody not getting the 42.
Yeah, indeed. Like you said, we know a lot of that gross comes from Purdue. Let's keep it honest.
Yeah.
That chicken
Yes,
factory, good, bad, or indifferent.
1,000 people plus work at Purdue.
Come on, man. Like we gotta start calling a thing a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it does get difficult. But to your point, Darius, this is why these convos are important, because I think that it's okay for me to live wherever, get my paper, but I have to come back. Like, I
Facts.
have to come back, even if it's not to live and be
Uh-huh.
L for the L every day. No, I'll make my way back to the county. You feel me? That's
Yeah.
super important. And I think that is a part that doesn't get touched on enough,
I get
because,
you.
you know what I mean? It means nothing for me to share it when I see it
Right.
go off my timeline. Like, what does that do? Well, you gonna put in this pain? You gonna really put in these hours? That's
Right.
important, Darius. And I think
Not for
that for
sure.
all listening, that has to be one of the take-home messages. If you
Yeah.
ever went to one of these schools, you owe something back to it. And you should be happily ready to do it, type shit. So I like that. That's a
Hey,
solid
that
point, bro.
that's a good point right there. That's a
Mm-hmm.
good point right there. Cause Mullins the same way, and I ain't from Mullins, but Mullins the same way. But everybody that was born and raised out here, everybody did the same thing. Everybody came back, and there is money in the county. It's according to the motherfuckers that get the money.
Yeah.
What are they doing with the money when they get
Mm-hmm.
the money? And
Yeah.
luckily, the motherfuckers that came back, the Mullins,
Mm-hmm.
so as myself, everybody came back and everybody did something. So Mullins is building at the same damn time.
Yeah.
So I understand what y'all saying, but it is money in y'all county. It's just when that person that can get the money, is they doing the right thing with the money, or you know what I mean?
And you know what?
And
Yo,
that's it. Like that's just like
No
I
doubt.
don't know
go ahead.
your name, old dude. I don't know his name. Old dude
Must be
that
talking
got the
about me.
counselor joint.
Oh, Devin.
That just showed us
Oh, Casey.
that he got the
Casey.
Casey.
Oh,
group.
okay.
Yeah.
Casey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like him. I respect him because I'm doing something like that. I got my own business. I'm doing all of that. Like right there, I respect that
Yeah.
because you gotta bring multiple. You gotta bring different ages together for understanding, and that's
Yeah.
it. And that's what's going to keep everything flowing.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's also the older people at the same damn time that could get to that bag, that money. Hey, put it back into the community so we could grab something. We could do this. Put and it ain't gotta be all of us. It ain't gotta be all of us. If you grab something, put something into the community. Something into the community. And that's it. And that's why I could say Mullins is growing because Mullins was shit. Mullins was the worst shit when you come to South Carolina. Now it's growing.
That's
It's
solid.
growing.
And you know
So
what,
that's
Pop?
why I'm like,
To,
what
to
up?
strengthen your point, bro, here's the ironic part, right? Everybody you see on this stage, I know touch hands with, right? In some way.
Hmm.
Everyone in these boxes can literally take their resume as currently built, go to Raleigh and at least make 70,000 more than what they're currently doing, wherever they are right now. And these brothers
Boom.
these are well-to-do brothers, right? And sisters. So this is why that part is so important, that we don't even talk about those that are in the trenches, the sacrifice and integrity you got to have to stay in it while fixing it.
It's a fact.
That's
That's
a
a
different.
fact.
That's a
I can
different
attest to
level of
that.
sacrifice, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a
Yeah.
Y'all
fact.
know
It's
what?
only, but it's only going to take a sacrifice.
Yeah.
That's all it's going to take. It's only going to take a sacrifice. And I understand, and like I'm not talking about y'all. I'm
Yeah.
talking about in general, a general
Yeah. Yeah.
statement, because we're talking about Bertie, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can understand why some people just leave Bertie and they like, well, man, listen, I'm making way more money over here, and they just
Mm-hmm.
forget about it.
Yep.
You feel me? I
Out of sight, out of
understand.
mind.
Yeah,
Yep.
I can understand their point of view, but I could also look at it like, hey, man, you can
So
also help
my
Bertie.
man, hey, my man Pop. I know we never met before. So two things. For one, what you doing,
Hmm.
keep going. Whether you got 2 people or 20, bro, you're making an impact. All right. So
Oh
whatever
yeah,
vision
it's
you
the
got,
army.
keep it going. All right. But for most of us, I know we are from Bertie, and we always heard coming. I mean, while we was growing up, especially right when you were about to cross that stage, they be like, once you leave, don't come back. But see,
Yep.
we gotta
Mm-hmm.
break. We have to break that narrative. We got to shift that
Mm-hmm.
conversation
Yeah.
because if we, one of the reasons why I think I chose to stay put was because of the impact you make within the community you grew up in,
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
right? So the reason why Darius, and I don't, I'm not talking telling too much, but one of the reasons why Darius came back was because he wanted to make an impact within the community that he grew up in, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
So um,
Move from Charlotte.
we all gotta, if this is great conversation, you know what I'm saying? But
It
once we
is.
find solutions, then I think it's best to like start putting those solutions into action. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? Because we all care about the place that we call home. All right.
Mm-hmm.
But what we gonna do? Are we gonna really roll our sleeves up and get it done? You know what I'm saying? Once we come to these solutions, and I don't want to focus on much like oh well, what about the funding part? Because what we do right, like what we doing right now in the other room, that's just off
It's
of
not fun. Yeah. Yeah.
relationships that we built, trust that's in that room. You know what I'm saying? And we tell them like, listen, whatever you say is gonna stay within these four walls,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I
Yep.
mean, impact is impact.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you
That's
think that, hey,
impact and
Casey,
building.
based on your premise, do you think that that's one of the things we have to be re-educated on? The
What's
fact that
that?
we need the money for this level of progress? Do you think
I
a lot
mean,
of people believe that to be
don't
true?
hey look, Strada, don't get it confused. You're gonna need that money, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? When you really want to make a dent in some of the issues that we speak on, yeah, you do. But at the same time, man, like putting your boots on the ground and doing that work and developing relationships and partnerships, whether it's in Bertie surrounding areas or whatever, like that means a lot too. You know what I'm saying? So having that type of that's the type of capital where you know you have a good reputation with someone else. So even if you're not in everyone, they're gonna speak highly of you and what you do. And just like we did, like Shine is not on this call, but we spoke highly of the work that he do within the community since he just came back. So that's
Fact.
that matters too, man.
Big
Yeah,
fact.
bro.
Big
That
facts.
word, that word sacrifice, man. Cause he ain't had to come back to Bertie.
That
You know
part.
what I mean? He ain't had to come back. You feel me? Like that sacrifice, that's a big word, man. That a lot of people don't even know the meaning. You feel me? So and all actions speak louder than words. You know what I mean? Like they we say boots on the ground, right?
Yep.
The actions speak, man.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Man, you know what's crazy? We almost an hour in this great convo. I haven't even asked my first question yet, and I don't mind it because this is all very potent, necessary convo. So
Hmm.
salute to y'all, man. This is gonna be a dope one. I do have a few questions I'm gonna get to. Like I said, based on how we're pacing it, I might skip through some questions because I want to get to the root cause, but to Casey's point, I do want to make sure that we're touching these solutions as well as keeping it real. So this is why you fellas are here tonight, as well with my ladies. We need the honest, uncut truth to the parents, the community that's gonna hear this because they have to hear it in a way that ain't as PC. And we got to get to the root cause of what's really happening out here. That's why y'all were selected to be here. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Rashawn Miller. I knew when I hit him, he was like, yo, I got my group now. I was like, shit, him and Casey probably, I was talking about it before you got up here and see. I was like, yo, CO probably gonna miss because he's gonna be there too. You popped up, I was like, that. So again, this is all interconnected, man. But I want to again keep this in mind when y'all are talking. Please be candid. Y'all, I know y'all gonna be respectful, right? But we need to start saying the quiet things out loud. So just keep that in mind when these questions are rolling across the screen. We need that candidness because I think on the other side of that is the actual solution, not just the words. We cool? Everybody make sense?
Yep.
I bet. Let's do it. Let's jump straight to these questions. Just gonna get to it, man. Again, make sure you like, comment, subscribe this stream. If you are on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, share it to somebody that needs to hear it from the community. So my first question for you all, and we'll start round robin from the top. We're gonna snake our way down to the bottom. So my first question is,
On behalf of SPS, thank you for joining us and be blessed.